it's me, Cakes, and today we are outside in the rain. So we're getting a bit wet, and I'm going to try to keep my phone as dry as possible. I figured I'd tell you guys a few quick stories. Now, I'm not a bullshit liar, so it won't be anything as fantastic as a stalker taking 1980 style Polaroids of me while I sleep. It's just going to be more like real life stories, stuff that I think's funny or whatever. We'll see how long my camera will last out here in the water. Okay, so first I'm going to start with the, a story. We had a Dunkin Donuts opening in our area, right? And so, I'm just basically at home doing my usual thing, and the phone rings, and it's my sister. And, she's like, yo, Cakes, I don't know what the fuck you're doing right now, but whatever it is, stop and get your ass to the brand new Dunkin Donuts. They're not open yet, but if you go inside, they'll give you anything you want for free. They're training, so they're gonna give you anything you want for free. So I'm like, fuck yeah. So I haul my ass to the new Dunkin Donuts. I go inside, I act like I'm getting ready to pay and everything because I don't want to be presumptuous, like, give me your shit for free. So anyways, I go inside and I order a dozen donuts and 3 coffees. And I tried to pay, and they're like, no, it's free, we're training, it's all free today. So I'm like, oh my god, thank you so much. And I ended up tipping them like $8. I was only gonna tip $5, but they didn't have enough change in their tip jar for my 20, so I'm like, just keep the rest, I'll take the $12. And so while I'm leaving the Dunkin Donuts, and I'm at the stoplight trying to pull out into the road, and this guy crosses the street right in front of me, he's walking. And he goes, hey, are they opened? And I really think he thought I was being a smartass. Because I'm like, yeah, and they're just giving shit away for free. And he goes, and then just keeps walking. I'm like, seriously, man? But I think he thought I was just bullshitting him. We live in the middle of nowhere. But not far from the middle of nowhere is a small tourist town. So basically anywhere I want to go, I'm crossing through the small tourist town. And throughout the town, there's several crosswalks. And so I was actually coming home, and it was the last crosswalk in town, and there's 2 people standing at the crosswalk. And, so I start to slow down, and I'm not really paying attention that much, I just kind of slow down to stop so they can cross the road. And I'm probably listening to the music, jamming out, doing a lot of things. But, so I stop at the crosswalk, and I realized they're 2 hitchhikers. They've been hiking, obviously, because as you can see, there's plenty of places to hike nearby. They've obviously been hiking, and they're trying to hitchhike, and I'm at a full stop when I realize they're hitchhiking, and I go, oh shit, and then I'm like, I'm sorry, and I just floor it, and I can't help but also fucking laugh, because at the same time, I realized how fucking hilarious it was. Even though it was a total accident, I really did not mean to, stop for the fucking hitchhikers and then floor it. But that's what I did, because, fuck no, you ain't getting in this car. Especially you have, those backpacks of God knows what's in there. I would hike with a gun, honestly. Well, I mean, if I was, long-term hiking, which they obviously were. They're, full beards and everything. So I mouth, oh shit, I'm sorry. And then I speed off as I'm also, laughing my ass off. I'm a terrible person. I really didn't mean to, though. Gas, but you ain't getting in this car. No way. Okay, and I think the rain's starting to let up. I was actually gonna... No! I was actually gonna try to have a fire. I need to wipe this off. I was actually gonna try to have a fire. I was trying to get it lit before the rain picked up, but I did not get it lit in time. So I couldn't start a fire. I'm not that boss. I wish I had some stories about some crackheads I've ran into. I attract crackheads when I go out in public for some reason. They just fucking, it's like a moth to a flame, right? So one time I'm at the beach, and I was with my boyfriend. Me and my boyfriend at the time were at the beach, and it was just he and I staying in a room. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, the hotel phone rings, and we're like, the fuck? Nobody even knows our hotel number. So we answer the phone, and we're like, hello? And they're like, yo, we're staying across the hall. Come party with us. Da, 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 da. And we're like, no, we're good. We're just sleeping or whatever. So then the next day, we were actually leaving. We had to leave the next day. So I'm packing the car up, loading the trunk up. My boyfriend was inside the hotel, like, packing stuff up. And a lady comes out to me. And I'm sitting in my car, and she, like, blocks me in where she's, like, standing. Like, I'm sitting with my legs hanging out of the car door. I don't really remember what I was doing in the driver's seat, but I was just sitting there. And she came and she, like, blocked me in, so I couldn't get out of my car. And she's like, hey, like, you want to go skiing? And, like, we're at the beach, and I'm like, water skiing? And she's like, no, you know, like, skiing. And I'm like, no, man, I'm good. We're leaving, like, we've got to go. We got to go. And then she's kind of wandered off to wherever it was she went. And then there's this other time that I was at a gas station, and I was waiting in line to use the bathroom. There was one bathroom for men and women, and I was standing there waiting patiently, as somebody was in there obviously blowing it up, I don't know. But so this lady comes in, she's like, I really gotta take a shit. She's like, can I get in front of you? I'm about to shit my pants. And I'm like, yeah, sure, go ahead, you know, I'm good. And she's like, we're just standing there waiting, she's like, looking me up and down, right, like, and she's like, I bet you ain't never shit your pants before, have you? And I'm like, can't say that I have past, you know, infancy or so. And she's like, yeah, I can tell by looking at you. And I'm like, great. And then the guy comes out of the bathroom, and then she goes in, and she was not in there long enough to take a shit. She went in there to do some fucking drugs. But whatever, you know, she went in, she was right out, and then she left. And that was another time. And then the last story I want to tell you about, which was by far the most terrifying to me personally, because the previous 2 times were girls. This time was man. So, to make a long story short, we were, I had driven to Florida, where I'm originally from. I no longer live there, but I'd driven to Florida because my sister just had a baby. So I wanted to go see the brand new baby. And while I was in Florida, I had some issues with my brakes. I went and got them fixed at like a Tires Plus or something, and they completely fucked my car up. They ended up putting some kind of shoe, like Honda Accord shoes, on my Honda Civic. So my car was on fucking lockdown. It was locked up. My car was not going any fucking where. So I ended up having to take a Greyhound bus back fucking home. Okay? Anyone who's ever ridden on a Greyhound bus knows that if it would take 8 hours in a car, it's gonna take 20 hours in a fucking Greyhound. So I ended up being on a Greyhound for 20 plus hours, but before I even got on the Greyhound, I'm just at the station in my sister's hometown. So I'm just at the Greyhound station, waiting on the Greyhound to come pick me up. It's me, it's my mom, it's, again, my boyfriend at the time, and some military guy. He's kind of sitting over to the side. And some guy wanders up. So he comes over, out of all the people sitting there, military man, me, boyfriend at the time, my mom, he beelines to me. And he's like, hey man, you want to buy some pictures of my naked girlfriend? And I'm like, me? Me? And he's like, yeah, man, I just got these pictures, real cheap, $5, you can see pictures of my naked girlfriend. And I'm like, no, man, I'm good, I'm okay. And he's like, no, man, come on, just $5, you can see pictures of my naked girlfriend. No, man, I'm good, really, I'm good. And he just keeps on and keeps on. Finally, military man, he's like, he stands up, he's like, leave her alone, man. And he's like, nah, man, it's cool. He's like, no, seriously, leave her alone, man. And then he wanders off into the night. I never saw him again. Or pictures of his naked girlfriend, for that matter. Which I'm good. I mean, you know, probably just look in the mirror. Probably just use Google. Find whatever kind of naked chicks I desire, you know, but that's what happens. I attract colorful people. Okay, I want to show you guys a few things. It stopped raining, so we're gonna go look for a rainbow. So you know how I love sunshine, lollipops, and motherfucking rainbows. And I saw these things. I don't know what the fuck they are, but look at this. Growing. A few of them. I'm assuming it's some sort of fungus. Or some sort... Yeah, I'm going with fungus. I'm assuming some sort of fungus. Now let's see if there's a rainbow. The sun is coming from that way. and it just stopped raining. So hopefully there is a rainbow. I've been waiting for one all summer. It's rained literally every day all summer long, and I've yet to see a fucking rainbow yet. Well, the sun is certainly bright. There was no rainbow. I'm still waiting for my rainbow this summer. I hope you enjoyed my stories. I know they weren't big, elaborate, like I got kidnapped and fucking sold for drugs kind of story, but you know, all I can do is tell you true stories, not some shit I just pulled out of my ass. This was so much fun. Thanks. Later. Let's try that again. Later.